This video is called I'm an Incel, Ask Me Anything. Now, this is from 2019, 2 years ago. Now, people on TikTok call me one of the kings of the incels. Nick Foster is the second king, I guess. Anyway, you know, I do a little bit of edgy gut. Let me start this over, because this is just ridiculous. Anyway, this is called I'm an Incel, Ask Me Anything. Now, I will say that when I was younger, I suppose you could call me a little bit of an incel. I was a little bit of a troll. Like, you know, many, many years ago, I was a troll. I was a little bit of a trolly guy. I said some bad things. I was a shitty person, so I'm telling you firsthand that incels are shitty people. If you are involuntarily celibate, then there's a reason. There's a reason people don't want to sleep with you, because you're an asshole and you're a loser. But this guy probably isn't that, of course. Now, what I find interesting right off the bat is it says, I'm an incel, ask me anything. So my question is, does he embrace the tag or the moniker of being called an incel? Because that's kind of sad. It's pathetic. You embrace that. Hey, guys, no one wants to fuck me. That's what you're saying if you embrace being called an incel. So anyway, let's get this going.
Towards women?
Oh, let's start it over.
If you could summarize your opinion towards women?
Like what I think of them?
Yes.
I do think they are very important, but...
I'm so sorry. What a great cut. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. An incel is a member of an online subculture that centers around not being sexually active despite desiring to be. Okay.
Some topics are hard to approach.
More and more male hatred against women is rising up.
You might call this a new phenomenon.
Either the subjects are inaccessible, or people are uncomfortable discussing them.
If you're an ugly guy, you better get a good job and make some money, because nobody's gonna want to talk to you. Girl,
yeah, that's true. This guy's a scumfuck.
You don't deserve to get laid at all!
So we found those subjects in person, rented a space in Hollywood, and invited our audience and any strangers walking by to come inside and ask them anything. I
gotta start going to these.
Okay,
Now here's my thing, okay? You're as an individual, as somebody, everybody's fuckable, for the most part. This guy could be fuckable. He just has to work on a few things. I'm gonna assume the biggest issue he has is his smell. That's number one. Number two is his fucking attitude, and the fact that he thinks that women are like less than men. That's pretty clear by the butt. You know, 3, you look like shit. 4, get a real job. You know, this guy probably just jerks off into a sock, leaves it on the floor, probably doesn't do anything. He probably doesn't do anything. He probably doesn't even work. You got to get a good job. That's a real advice. Get a good job. If you're ugly, yeah, you need a better job. You know what? Motivation. Get a better job. Boom.
Hey, I'm Brendio. I also go by Derek. I'm an...
Who?
Hey, I'm Brendio. I also go...
What the Brendio? Did this guy just give, like, I'm not even kidding. This guy, it sounds like he gave us his, like, World of Warcraft character name. You think I'm kidding? But I wouldn't. I remember, I used to be one of these people. This guy is publicly telling everybody his fucking username for whatever games he plays. That's dude.
Go by Derek. I'm an incel, and I'm here to answer people's questions.
He self-identifies. I would ask, why do you hate black people? Because honestly, if you know incels are fucking racist pieces of shit.
I can start. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So you're an incel?
Yes.
Yeah, those are my pronouns. I'm an in/cell.
Why would you ever sign up to do this?
I suppose I would want to give more of a positive light on this community, which is
That's a great question.
Light upon it.
Okay. Do you think that's a good thing?
Yes.
Why is that?
This guy looks like he wants to fucking hit him, and I'm feeling it. I'm honestly feeling it. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the energy here.
Because a lot of the boys in this community aren't bad people.
But you acknowledge that a good handful of them are, right?
Not a good handful. I would say a small handful.
Who
The handful.
hurt you, or what happened? What
child's-
event sort of catalyzed this way of thinking and you getting into this kind of research?
Because you won't fuck me, that's why. I want to be a shitty person and still feel entitled to sex. That's what it is. Incels want to be worthless scum fucks, but they still think that they're entitled to sex. It's not true.
Society.
Do you hate women?
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, you kind of do.
Do you have a female role model in your life?
A female role model.
Do you have a dad? Like,
Mom
what?
or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom. I wouldn't
Ew,
necessarily.
hold on.
Mom or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom.
His fucking smile after he says it creeps me out. No, hold on. I know this is. I have to try to pause this.
Mom or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom.
You pause it yourself. There's something creepy about that fucking smile.
I wouldn't necessarily consider her a role model, but I do love her quite a bit.
My mom's a role model.
If a
man.
woman was
I
elected
love my mother.
as president of the United States,
Greatest woman in
how
the
would you
entire
react?
world.
I don't know. It probably would depend on the woman. I probably wouldn't be supportive of it, honestly. But
You know, my thing with a woman being president, I have no issue with women being president from a country perspective. I am a little nervous, and I'm not saying this to discount it. I'm a little nervous when it comes to other countries because other countries are very misogynistic, like Russia and China. What would they think about listening to America, like the strongest person in the world being a woman? I know it sounds shitty, but like it's just practical. I know it's terrible. I'm just saying.
Why do you say that, if you don't mind me asking?
I do think that men should be the leaders and women should be the caregivers and the loving, supporting, and the teachers. In some cases.
Since
I mean, I'm sure people in my audience are like, yeah, that sounds... No. Listen, people should have the choice to do what they would like to do. Women tend to gravitate towards caretaking, and men tend to gravitate towards, working and providing. But, like, there's no problem with a crossover.
color or just women in general have been oppressed by certain systems and other oppressed communities, especially the LGBTQ+.
I mean, he's a gamer. He's the most oppressed person in the world.
Those don't really fit with the spectrum that incels or you have been talking about. So why do you think your method of thought would help fix what we have today?
When did he ever say that they would?
I probably wouldn't view the things that you might view as oppression as oppression. I have a feeling.
God.
I would view it more as
No.
how we treat children that we love.
Oh, no.
We control them, but we control them lovingly, not as a slave, not as we're forcing them to do things against their will. I would view it more as a loving domestic thing in the past. And I would say that if we were to do it in a civilized way, maybe in a more, even a Christian way, even though I'm not really advocating for a certain religion or ideology, I would assume that women would probably be happier. And I wouldn't just assume that blindly, I would assume that based on the data that I have seen.
What data have you seen that has brought you to this conclusion? Because I'm now curious where I can get this data from.
Me too.
I couldn't reference it offhand, but I believe there was a study that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
This seems like some pretty important data to have off your top of your head. If you're going to make a claim that women are happier being, listen, there are some women that probably are happier to be in the household, but that doesn't mean that all women want to be forced in the house. I don't know.
Okay. What do you think it is about liberal areas that create behavior in women that you think is a problem?
Promiscuity leads to
I read it on
increased
4chan.
standards in more primitive aspects such as looks. And that typically makes it harder for some people to find a relationship, including sometimes good-looking people. There's guys who are much better looking than I am who are having a really hard time finding someone in a place like LA or in London or in Auckland, New Zealand, but they probably would have a perfectly fine time finding a woman somewhere else.
Well, that's fantastic because we have this thing called fucking the internet. So if you feel like your area doesn't have the type of person you want to date someone online. I just don't understand. Like he has to live in LA. He's like, if only I didn't live in LA, I would be able to get a girlfriend. So move. I mean, if you live in LA, you probably have a reasonable amount of money. I don't know. Move. Try to date somebody. Go on. Use the internet, not just 4chan. It's probably another dude trying to date you. Go use OkCupid or something. Pay a little bit of money. Find a girlfriend.
So you think that promiscuity is the problem, and if people were more monogamous and more withholding, that would sort of fix society?
Yeah, I suppose if people were more traditionalists.
There have been
But what does that mean? Like, there's more competition in the field? Like, that has to be, because here's the thing. Like, I'm assuming there's no way that you would be able to have a higher chance of getting somebody to date you as a traditionalist. Like, what if we were a more traditional area, right? Because there's still the same number of people dating, whatever. it doesn't really matter. It just seems like he would rather treat women like shit and that to be more acceptable. Unless he's referring to the tradition of like forced marriages. Is that, I mean, maybe that's what he's looking for too.
Few mass shootings in the past where these shooters actually stated that they were incels or were radicalized by online incels. What do you think about their actions?
I condemn their actions. I don't believe I don't believe violence is the solution. I don't believe attacking random people is going to fix anything, whether they're, you know, women or men.
Waiting for the butt.
I do think that the reason why they committed those actions was probably because of out of desperation or out of, you know, mental problems that probably could have been prevented had the right support was in their community, in their household.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm tired of blaming mass shootings from fucking incels on mental problems. Go fuck yourself. Well, he must have had a mental problem. No, he's a fucking reactionary loser like you. Okay, and here's what happens. People like this, everybody who's a reactionary anything is a fucking loser. Okay, if you get pushed farther to the right because of as a reactionary response from leftists shitting on you, you're a loser. If you get pushed farther left because of reactionary conservatives, you're a fucking loser. If you become an incel because people won't fuck you as a reaction and you decide to hate women, you're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Okay? You're a fucking loser. Going into a direction simply because you get hatred from one side is some loser shit. Now, I understand it, but like we're talking about like, yeah, well, you know, I know that they shot all those people, but you know, he was sad. He had a mental health problem. Really? You think he had a mental health problem? Maybe he did. And you want to know what causes mental health problem? The internet. I think that this is one of the things that we don't talk about enough, is we act like mental health problems are exclusively genetic when there's an environmental factor to a lot of mental health issues when it comes to exacerbating the issues or how likely you are to develop a particular mental issue. It's the truth. Like if you look at PTSD, that is objectively a purely environmental mental disorder. There are mental illnesses that are genetic, but like these people don't have genetic mental illnesses that are causing them to kill people. These people might have a predisposition towards some kind of a mental disorder, but whatever environment they're in is creating it more. So like the internet, yeah, the internet's creating mental disorders, and we're not talking about it. It's fucking true.
If people, saw what they were posting and saw what they were experiencing in life and did something to help them.
Was there like a pivotal moment in your life, like a straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back?
It's constant years of rejection, no matter who the person was, constant years of rejection in other aspects of my life. It did kind of push me towards more, I suppose,
just be a better person.
Beliefs, but I suppose they're only like radical.
Dude, constant years of rejection. People probably reject you because you're just not equitable. You're not somebody people want to be around. If you want to not get rejected, be somebody people want to be around. It can be difficult to attain, but it's very simple.
But they're more just old beliefs, really.
No, it sounds like I had another like metaphor, like death by 1,000 cuts. It's not like one pivotal moment.
Dude, stop giving this guy any fucking... Stop steel manning this guy. Listen, there are people who are traditionalists that believe it's what women should be in the household. They don't have a problem finding women because they're not douchebags. There might be something about their ideology that's a bit regressive, but other women can also have that ideology, and some women feel very comfortable being, more submissive and in the household. It's not a singular problem of this guy being a more traditional. This guy's a fucking loser. Traditionalists are also harder working individuals who actually get jobs to support families. Right? This guy's a fucking loser who jerks off all day and plays video games.
Sounds like a bunch of things built up over time.
Yeah.
One of the common criticisms about the incel community is that you feel entitled to sex or intimacy.
True.
Do you believe that you deserve sex or intimacy?
I want a government-sanctioned girlfriend.
I think everybody at some level deserves someone that someone that loves them and
your mom
respects them, as long as you are also loving and respectful towards that person.
You figured your problem out, asshole.
They're an equal. You're not like seeking someone beyond yourself. You don't have like too high standards, I suppose.
This guy is confused, and I'm all for it.
Something about being incel that that may not be in the internet or that's overlooked heavily. What would it be?
I don't know. I think it's mostly that most of the men are not inherently bad people. A lot of them are just lonely
And
They
losers.
just need some help.
And they don't want to get jobs or become like an
Would you say
equitable
that there's
part of
anything
society.
that other people can do to help guide or just support or anything?
You know, the lonely person in your class or the lonely person in your workplace, maybe he's an incel and he's not letting you know, and he's just kind of afraid to, you want someone positive. Just
Honestly, bully them more. You know what I mean? Like, I know that he's like, be nice, bully them more, bro. Bully the fuck out of incel. I'm just kidding. Yeah, be nice to the weird school shooter in your class. That'll probably help him get a little less antisocial. It's probably true.
Just be nice, say hi, try and make friends with him. You don't have to date him, you don't have to whatever, just, you know, brighten up
Hey, how you doing? Hey, can you take a shower? I would be your friend if you didn't smell like shit.
someone lonely's day, I suppose.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Was that like such like a fucking profound amount of advice for her? She's like, wow, I never realized ignoring people and treating them like a social pariah would make them an asshole. Like, wow, fucking who's the great news? Every cartoon growing up had that message of like, don't treat everybody like an asshole. You know what I mean? But you forgot about that one.
You don't want to be an incel?
No.
Why not?
He wants to get
Well,
that
I mean,
pussy.
it's part of the whole involuntarily thing. I mean,
He wants to
I
get some
you know,
pussy,
you
dude.
wanna
What do you mean,
try
why
and
not?
shape it, You want to be
What kind of
something
fucking
better
question
in
is
the
that?
world. Get a wife, get a girlfriend, get someone who loves you, spend your life with them, and be happy. And
What's one thing you wish people understood better about you?
I don't know. I guess I wish people would recognize how much effort I'm trying. I suppose. Like I'm working out typically daily. I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm out there.
I remember that.
jogging.
There was a thing a long time ago where he was like he was talking about women's issues, and he's like, I hate women, basically. So he did lose a lot of weight.
Actively, I don't think people recognize how much effort the incels in general try to put into bettering themselves.
Well, they don't.
I would
That's
say
the problem.
people don't recognize their effort. They just assume that they're all like lazy and sad and angry at women and just giving up and things of that nature, I suppose. You don't have to see the bad things in the world and then come out a bad person. You can just see the bad things in the world and then improve upon yourself because of them, I suppose.
So you do have hope.
Yeah, I have hope, yeah. I'm a very hopeful person.
Where's this guy now?
I won't lie, this went a lot differently than I thought it would. I thought we'd be yelling at each other, you know?
It was nice to meet you.
Why would you think
Nice to
that?
meet you,
You could see that guy was fucking angry from the start. So I believe him.
Hello, thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked
We never saw this guy.
it.
Maybe he made the video.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, that was interesting. Hey everyone, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow my Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and TikTok. All links are in the description. Also, check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me even more than you already do. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all.